Hello everyone, this is the solution of your pra-asats practice. Question 1a, find the equation of line L in the form of y equals to mx plus c. Okay, for this one, we already know that the y-intercept is 3. That means the c will be equals to 3. And then for the gradient, we can use rise over run. I will take this as our rise and run. That means the gradient will be rise over run. The rise is 2, the run is 4. That means half. And the equation of the line will be y equals to mx plus c. Y equals to, the gradient is half. And then x. And then plus c. The c equals to 3. So y equals to half x plus 3. And then next is cross the x-axis. The keyword is cross the x-axis. That means y equals to 0. So we will replace this equals to 0. 0 equals to half x plus 3. And then you move the 3. Negative 3 equals to half x. That means x equals to negative 3 times 2 equals to negative 6. So final answer is in coordinate form negative 6, 0. Okay, next is question 2. For question 2, you have to fill in the table. That means y equals to 12 divided by x. The first x is negative 6, so you only have to divide it by negative 6. Equals to negative 2 for this one. And then 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. And then 12 divided by negative 1 is negative 12. And then divided by 1 is 12. Divided by 3 equals to 4. Divided by 6 equals to 2. And then on the grid, draw the graph of 12 over x. Okay, so we have negative 6, negative 2 right here. And then negative 3 and, negative 4 and negative 3. Negative 4, negative 3 will be right there. And then negative 3 and negative 4. Next is negative 2, negative 6. And negative 1, negative 12 right here. Okay, so this is our first curve. And then the other parts, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4, sorry, this one, and then 4 and 3, 6 and 2, like that. Okay, so this is the next part of our graph. Okay, so this is the graph of y equals to 12 over x. And then C, on the grid, draw the line y equals to negative 9. Negative 9 is right here. So this is the line of y equals to negative 9. And then use your graph to solve. To solve means you have to take a look at the equation first. This part already drawn. That's the red curve. And then this part also already drawn, which is the blue line. To solve the equation, you only have to find the intersection. The intersection between the red and the blue is this one. As you can see, the value of the x is negative 1.4. So x equals to negative 1.4. So this is the solution of the equation. Next is question 3. For question 3, n is an odd number. Write down the value of n satisfies 7 until 15. So you have to list odd numbers in between 7 and 15. So the odd numbers will be 9, 11, 13, and also 15. The 15 is included because we have equal sign right there. Yeah, while 7 is not included because we don't have an equal sign right there. Okay, next is this one. Pip thinks negative 1 less than x less than 8 is the inequality represent the number line. Complete the statement. Pip's inequality is not correct because it has to be negative 1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 8, because these symbols means the negative 1 is included and when negative 1 is included, you have to put equal sign right there. Next is question 4. You have to write down the notation for this inequality. So it starts with the negative 3 and with 4, and the value of the x is in between. That means x in the middle. If x in the middle, the sign will be less than. It cannot be less than more than. It has to be less than. But this one means 4 is included. That means you will add equal sign on the 4. And then next is question 5. For question 5, the question wants you to find the angle BCD. Which one is BCD? Oh, BCD is this one. That means we can use this properties, the quadrilateral inside the triangle, the circle, yeah. So we have this as 110. If we let this as C, that means 110 plus C equals to 180. That means C equals to 70. Okay, so angle BCD equals to 70 because the reason is cyclic quadrilaterals sum to 180, like that. Okay, next is to find DCB and DCG. To find DBC, you have to take a look at the 45 first. If this one is 45, that means this one will be also 45. Okay, this one is 45. Okay, and then after that we will erase the red one. We will find DCB right now. So angle DBC equals to 180 minus 45 minus 80. Yeah, we'll use the triangle. So 125, 55 degree. Oh, it should be 65. Wait. Oh, my bad. This one is not 80. This one is 70, guys. So this one is 70. That means 65. Yes. You have to find the DCG. DCG is where's G? Oh, this one. DCG. This one. It will be the same as this one because we have the formula, the properties of this, of the shapes like this. Yeah. So if this one is 65, that means this one will be also 65. So 65. Next is question 6. You have to write down the coordinates of the point where the graph crossed the y-axis. The keyword is cross the y-axis. When you read cross the y-axis or meet the y-axis or y-intercept, that means x equals to 0. That means you only have to input this into y equals to 5x minus 3. The x is 0 and then minus 3, so y equals to negative 3. That means the coordinate is 0, negative 3. Next, A is the point of 17, B is the point of 15. The keyword for this question is perpendicular bisector. To find the perpendicular bisector, you only have to find the midpoint. Midpoint first using this formula, x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. Okay, let's input the x1, y1. This is the x1, this is the y1, this is the x2, this is the y2. Okay, so x1 is 1, x2 is 5 divided by 2, 7 plus 15 divided by 2. The answer is 3, 11. Next, perpendicular bisector means you have to find the gradient also. Find the gradient of AB equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is 15 and 7. 15 minus 7 out of 5 minus 1. 8 over 4 equals to 2. Third, because you read perpendicular, that means we have to find the second gradient equals to negative 1 over the first gradient, negative 1 over 2. And then fourth, you have to find out the equation of the line using this formula. The y1 will be taken from the midpoint, not from the point of A or B, but because we want to find the perpendicular bisector, you have to take the point from the midpoint, 11 and 3. So this one is 11, this one is 3, equals to, the gradient will be half, negative half I mean, like this. And then the question wants you to give your answer in y equals to mx plus c. So we have to expand this one first, negative half x plus 3 over 2. And then you move the 11, you'll have negative half x plus 22 over 2 plus 3, 25 over 2. That's it. This is the answers. Next is question 7. The line of this intersect the curve. That means when you read intersect, you have to substitute. Let's substitute this y into the other y. So you'll have 4x plus 12 equals to 2x squared minus x minus 3. And then you will move this to the right hand side. You'll have negative x minus 4 is negative 5x. Negative 3 minus 12 is negative 15. And then you have to factorize this. 2x, maybe 5 and 3 right here. Oh, we cannot use factorization because the question already tell you that the answers will be decimal. That means we have to use the formula minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And this is the value of x. So x equals to negative b means plus 5. Square root of b squared means 25 minus 4 times a equals to 2, c equals to negative 15 divided by 2 times a. And then you only have to use your calculator. You'll get 4.26 for this one, and the other one is negative 1.76. And then after that, the question wants you to find the coordinates, right? Not only the x, but the coordinates. That means we need the y also. So we have y equals to 4x plus 12 before. You only have to input this into the x, and you input this also into the x, you'll get the y. For the first one, the y is 29.04. For the second one, the y is 4.96. Okay, that's it. So the coordinate is 4.26, 29.04. And the other one is negative 1.76, 4.96. So this is the two solutions. And the next is question 8. For question 8, you have to fill in the table first. I think all of you can fill in the table correctly. So this one is 0, and negative 1 is 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And then the 0 will be negative 6, the 2 will be 0, and the 3 will be 6 times 1, 6. Okay, and then we have to draw on the grid. So negative 4,6 will be right there, and then negative 3,0, negative 2, negative 4 will be right here, and then negative 1, negative 6 right here, and then 0, negative 6, then 1, negative 4, 1 and negative 4, and then 2, 0, and then 3, 6. Okay, let's connect them. Okay, like that. Okay, so this is our curve. You will label it as y equals to x plus 3 times x minus 2. Next is to write down the coordinate of the lowest point. The lowest point is right here. That means the x is negative 0.5, I guess. 1 2 3 4 5. Yes, negative 0.5. So for C, the answer is negative 0.5, comma. For the Y, you will have 6.2, 6.3 lah ya, negative 6.3, like that. Okay, next is D. Write down the equation of the line of symmetry. Line of symmetry is this one. The line that divide the curve into two equal parts. That means the equation of the line will be x equals to negative 0.5. Then the E, use your graph to solve the equation. You already draw this. That means you only have to draw this, which is y equals to 3. And to draw y equals to 3, you only have to find y equals to 3 is right there. The shapes will be horizontal line. And then, because the question wants you to solve it, that means you have to read the value of the x at the point of intersection. It will be this one. That is 2.5, I guess. So x equals to 2.5. And the other part is this one. X equals to negative 2.123456 ya. Negative 3.6. There you go. Next is question 9. For question 9, the line is x plus y equals to 7. Use the grid to draw y equals to 2x plus 1. Okay, how do you draw y equals to 2x plus 1? Of course, you can create a table like this. This is x and y. When x equals to 0, that means 2 times 0 plus 1 equals to 1. When the x equals to 5, let's say, so 2 times 5 plus 1 equals to 11. Unfortunately, we don't have 11 right there. So that means this one is too much. Let's say 4. 2 times 4 plus 1 equals to 9. Okay, so 0,1 is right there. And then 4,9 is right here. You connect them like this. That is our line. Y equals to 2x plus 1. And then use your graph to solve these equations. The first one is x plus y equals to 7. And the second one is the one that we already draw, y equals to 2x plus 1. That means you only have to see the intersection. The intersection will be 2,5. That means the solution of this simultaneous is 2,5. X equals to 2, y equals to 5. And then the next one is question 10. For question 10, we have ACO 35 and BCO equals to 40. Find AOC. Okay, to find the AOC, we only have to take a look at this triangle. The triangle is an isosceles triangle. That means this one also 35. And the question wants you to find AOC, right? So angle AOC equals to 180 minus 35 minus 35 equals to 110. Okay, we already have this 110. This one is 35. Okay, and then the question wants you to find the angle of ABC also. ABC is half of AOC because AOC is the center angle. That means ABC equals to half times 110 equals to 55. There is a properties of the angles like this, yeah. So you have to memorize the properties. This one is 55. And then find the AC. The AC. Okay, to find the AC, we only have to take a look at this triangle. Okay, wait. The AC, my bad. The AC is this one. Okay, let's take a look at this. We have these properties. You have to memorize this also. The property said if this one is 55, that means this one also 55. Yeah, so the AC equals to 55. Then OAB. OAB. To find the OAB, you have to use this triangle OAB. Okay, the question wants you to find this one. Yeah. So the sum of angles in triangle is 180, right? So 180 equals to 35 plus 40 plus 35 plus 55 plus AOC. That means 180 equals to 75, 110, 165 plus AOC. That means the angle of AOC equals to 180 minus 155 equals to 15. Okay, good. And then next is 11. The tangent from P touch the graph y equals to fx at the point A, B. The tangent from P. Okay, I think we need to draw the tangent first. The tangent from P will be like this. Okay. Touch the graph at point A, B. So A, B will be right here. This one is A, B. The A equals to 1 and the B equals to 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2. This is 2. So 1, 2. The value of A equals to 1. A equals to 1 and B equals to 2. Okay, then next is B. You have to find the equation of the tangent. Okay, let's choose 2 points. First is P. The coordinate of the P is negative 2, 1. 11 I mean. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, good. And then we have to use the gradient first. Gradient equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 equals to, let's say this one is y2, x2, and then x1 and y1. So the y2 is 11, y1 equals to 1, x2 is negative 2, x1 is negative 1. So 10 divided by negative 3 equals to negative 10 out of 3. Oh, sorry, my bad. This one should be 2. So 9 equals to negative 3. Okay, after this, we'll use y equals to mx plus c. Or maybe y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1. Y minus y1 equals to 2. Gradient is negative 3. X minus x1 is equals to 1. So when we simplify this, you will have negative 3x. And then this one is plus 3. And then you move the 2 to the other sides. Will be like that, negative 3x plus 5. So this is the equation of the tangent. Next is question 12. We have y equals to, that one is 2x minus 10. The question says intersect the y-axis. That means the y equals to 0. So y equals to 0, 2x minus 10. You move the 10, you'll have 10 equals to 2x. X equals to 10 divided by 2 equals to 5. That means the coordinate is 5, 0. Wait. Wait. The y-axis, yeah, x equals to 0, guys. 2 times 0 minus 10. So y equals to negative 10. So the coordinate is 0, negative 10. That is for the A. And then for the B, the line L intersect y equals to 19. So we have y equals to 2x minus 10 before. Because the y is already given, you only have to substitute it like this. 19 equals to 2x minus 10. So 29 equals to 2x. That means the x equals to 14.5. It is for the B. Next is C. For the C, P is perpendicular to line L. So the gradient of the line L, I will label this one first. This one is line L. Line L. The gradient is 2. When you read perpendicular or parallel, you will need the gradient, guys. M1 equals to 2. And then because you read perpendicular, that means the second gradient equals to negative 1 over the first gradient. So negative 1 over 2. And then the next thing is passes through point 2,3. That's very important. So y minus y1 equals to m times x minus x1. This is the x1, this is the y1. You only have to input. Y minus 3 equals to negative half over brackets x minus 2. then you have to answer it in the form of y equals to mx plus c. Negative half x, you multiply this plus 1, and then y equals to negative half x plus 1 plus 3 equals to plus 4. That's it. And then question, what question is this? Question 13. For question 13, you already have the graph of y equals to x plus 2 and x minus 1 square. You only have to change this form into this one for the first questions. Yeah, so to get that form, I think you have to expand x plus 2 times x minus 1 square will become x minus 1, x minus 1. And then y equals to, I will leave the x plus 2 first. I will multiply this one first. So you'll have x squared minus 2x plus 1. And then after that, I only need to multiply this. And also this one. Cepat pitik, ya. So you'll have y equals to x to the power of 3 minus 2x squared plus x plus 2x squared minus 4x plus 2. Then you can cross out this. So you'll get y equals to x to the power of 3 minus 3x and then plus 2. Okay, that's it. And then for the question B, you have to solve the equations. So every time you already draw something and then the question wants you to solve the equations, you have to make the equation exactly the same with the one that you already draw. So you already draw y equals to x cubed minus 3x plus 2. Actually the drawing is given. So I think you should move the 5x first to the other sides. And then you will divide them by 2. Because as you can see the x cubed has to be 1 not 2. So you divide everything by 2. Like this. And then from the left hand side we still need this one, right? Negative 3x plus 2. So you will add negative 3x plus 2 like that. And the other side you have to add negative 3x plus 2 also. Negative 3x plus 2 equals to, sorry, this one has x, so negative 0.5x plus 2. That means the line that you have to draw is this one. Y equals to negative 0.5x plus 2. And then how do you draw it? You create a table x and y. For x equals to 0, when you input the x equals to 0, you'll have 2. When the y equals to 4, you'll have 0. Okay, so 0, 2, 4, 0. 0,2 is right here. Oh no, cannot use 4 then. That means, how about 1? Sorry, how about 2? If it is 2, that means the result will be 1. 2,1. 2,1. It's right there. Okay, we don't have to correct them. Okay, it should be like that. Wait. Like that, okay? And then the question wants you to solve it. Solve it means you have to find out the value of the x. The first one is this one, x equals to 0. And so the second one is this one, which is x equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1.6 lah ya. 1.6. And then the other one is this one, negative 1.6 also. Okay, so this is the solution of the equation. Next is 14. To solve the equations, you only have to expand the x plus 5, guys. So x squared minus 4 minus px minus 21. And then you expand this, you'll have x minus 5 times x minus 5 plus k. You'll have x squared minus 10x plus 25 plus k equals to x squared minus px minus 21. Okay. Next is to find the p. To find the p, you only have to compare the coefficient of the x. We have negative 10 on the left hand side. It has to be equals to the negative px on the right hand side. Yeah, negative p only. So p equals to 5. Wait, should be, oh yeah, p equals to 10. My bad. P equals to 10, and then you compare this 25 plus x with negative 21. So we have 25 plus k on the left hand side equals to negative 21 on the right hand side. So k equals to negative 46. That's it. And then next is we have gx equals to x squared minus 16. Find the value of x when gx equals to 20. So you have to insert the 20 into the gx. Yeah. So for question AI, you will insert the 20. 20 equals to wait x squared minus 16, and then you move the 16 to become 36 equals to x squared. So x equals to square root of 36. Don't forget the plus minus. So x is either 6 or negative 6. On the axis, sketch the graph. Okay, to sketch a graph, of course, usually you will create a table, but this time I will show you the easiest method to draw that one. So we have x squared minus 16, x squared right here. X squared will be like this, but the question says x squared minus 16. Minus 16 means you will go down. So for this one, it will go down as long as 16 units. So at the first it will be 0, the next one will be negative 16, like that. And then on your sketch, indicate the values when the graph cross the x-axis. Okay, I think we need to calculate a little bit for this point and also this point and this point also. Yeah, we already have 0, negative 16 for the y-intercept, and then we have to find the x-intercept. To find the x-intercept, we only have to make it into 0, the y equals to 0. So we have y equals to x squared minus 16. 0 equals to x squared. So 0 equals to minus 16. So x squared equals to 0 plus 16 equals to 16. X equals to plus minus square root of 16. That means x equals to plus minus 4. So the next thing is this one is negative 4. This one is 4. That's it. Next is b. For the b, we have the function of y equals to 3 to the power of x. You have to draw this. Okay, let's draw that one. If you cannot draw it directly, I suggest you to create a table. So for the table, you will start from maybe negative 3 or negative 2, is up to you. But the more value of x you use, the more accurate your drawings. Yeah, so let's say negative 1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. For negative 1, that means 3 to the power of negative 1. It's 1 over 3. 1 over 3 means 0.333. For the 0, you will get 1. For the 1, you will get 3. For the 2, you will get 9. 3 become 27. Okay, so negative 1 will be right here. Negative 1, 1, 2, 3. Negative 1 is 0.33. That's very close to the x-axis. And then 0 equals to 1. 1 equals to 3. Like that. And 2 equals to 9. 3 equals to 27. So the curve will be like this. Okay. Next is write down the asymptotes. Asymptote means the line that is very close to the curve but never touch the curve. That means this one, and the equation is y equals to 0. Remember, when you have horizontal line, the equation will be y equals to numbers. Next is question 16i. For 16i, the question tell you to show that the x equals to 8.5. That means we have to start with this one, the area of rectangle. The area of rectangle is length times the width. The width is x plus 1. and the area itself is 190. Let's simplify this one first. You expand it, you have 2x squared plus 3x plus 2x is plus 5x, like that. And then you remove the 190, 187, and then you will factorize this. Okay, so the factorization will be 2x minus 2x minus 17 and x minus much ya, 11 right there. So negative 22. Oh, this one should be positive. Positive 22 minus 17 is 5. Okay, that's good. So x equals to 17 over 2 for this one, x equals to negative 11 for this one. Because this is a length, that means we have to reject this. Reject it, and then we'll take the 17 over 2, which is 8.5. Already shown. Okay, we already have the x, 8.5. That means if we input it right there, you'll have 17 plus 3 equals to 20, and right there to 9.5. And then the question wants you to find the perimeter. Perimeter is 2 times length plus 2 times width. So 2 times 20 plus 2 times 9.5. 40 plus 19. 49. 59. That's it. Next is 16b. For 16b, I think you need this formula: arc length, area of sector, and also the area of triangle. For the question, for these questions, we'll start from this. The shaded segment has area 30. So this one is 30. And how do you find that one? The area of this equals to the area of the sector minus the area of the triangle. Okay, so the area of sector is theta, 50 out of 360 times pi times r square, minus the area of triangle is half times r times sine 50. And the question says the area of the shaded segment is 30. So we can input the equal to as 30. Then I will calculate this one first. So 50 divided by 360 times pi equals to 0.4363 r squared minus sine 50 sine 50 and then divided by 2 equals to 0.383 r squared, and then you can minus it. 30 equals to 0.4363 minus 0.383. So you have 0.0533 r squared, and then 30 divided by 0.0533 equals to 562.8517 equals to r squared. That means r equals to square root of 562.851 plus minus. So r equals to 23.7. This one is 23.7, and the other is negative 23.7. So I think you should reject this one because negative is not valid for a measurement. Okay, and then calculate the perimeter of the shaded segment. Okay, perimeter. To find the perimeter, we only have to add this one and plus perimeter of this one, the arc length. Okay, for the first, you have to split them into two parts like this, so you'll have a right angle triangle. Okay, so the R is already given. Okay, so it's 23.7. That means this one also 23.7, and this one is 25 degree. Okay, we will use sine. Sine 25 equals to opposite over hypotenuse. Sine 25 is 0.4226 equals to the opposite. We don't know yet. The hypotenuse is 23.7. So you will label this like this: 0, hypotenuse, adjacent. Okay, and then we'll get the opposite. Opposite equals to 0.4226 times 23.7. It's 10.02 as the final result. That is this one. Then because we have two of them, you have to multiply it by 2. So you will get AB. AB equals to 20.04. Okay, that is the first. And then you can input it right here. Right here, that's 20.04. And the arc length. The arc length is theta over T60 times 2 pi r. The r is 23.7. So let's calculate this. 50 divided by 360 times 2 pi times 23.7. It's 20.68. 20.68. So P equals to 40.72. Oh, wait. 40.72 or 40.7 in 3SF. Okay, that's it. For this one, you have congruent test questions. That means we have to give reasons in this question. Yeah. So first is take a look at this triangle, and this triangle, it has to be equal or congruent. Yeah, but we still have to give the reason. So AB equals to BC. The reason is given, and then this one also BQ. BQ from the first triangle and the second triangle will be the same because it's given. And then the other one, this one, AO and OC also equal. AO equals to OC. The reason is radius of circle. Okay, because we already have these three arguments, that means we can conclude that the triangle are congruent. ABO congruent with ABO with CBO. And the reason for this one is SSS. So this one. Okay, next is this one. To solve these equations, maybe you will need this formula. That means if this one is 42, I'll show it to you. This one is 42. That means this one also 42. And that if that one is 42, that means this one will be also 42. Okay, nice. And then next is angle QSR. QSR. We already have it, which is 42. And then PQS. PQ and S. Oh, this one, yeah. Because this is radius and this one also radius, that means the triangle will be isosceles. That means this one also 42. Next is POS. POS. Okay, let's try to find this one first. So POQ. POQ equals to 180 minus 42 minus 42 equals to 84, 96, 106. Let's see. Oh, that's 80 ya. 96. Okay, 96 degree for the angle of POQ. And then to find the angle of POS equals to 180 minus 96 equals to 84. That's it. And then next is 18. For question 18, you have to complete the table first. Wait, let me calculate it. Okay, for negative 0.5, it's 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 means 0.75. And then for the 0.5, you'll get negative 5 over 4. That means negative 1.25. Okay, now the table is complete. We only have to sketch it. Negative 1 and 4 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's 4. This is 5. Okay. So it will be like that. This one is the negative 1, 1,4, 0.5 and 0.75. 2, 4, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so what's it called? Oh, the negative 5 ya. Negative 5 and 0.75. 8. Maybe right here. Okay, and then 0, negative 1 here, and then 0.5, negative 1.25. .5 with negative 1.25. Negative 1 point, oh right there, 25. Okay, and then 1,0, and the other part is 1.5, 275. 2 is right here, 2.2, 2.4, 2.6, 2.7, 2.75. Okay, like that. Let's connect them. There you go. That is our drawings, which is y equals to 3x squared minus 2x minus 1. And the next is by drawing the suitable tangents of the equation. Okay, we already learned this before in this practice test. Also, there is a lot of questions like this. That means we have to separate them like this first. So we have 3x squared minus 2x minus 1. So we need negative 2x minus 1. Negative 2x minus 1 is from that side also. So 3x squared minus 2x minus 1 equals to 2x plus 1. That means you already draw this one, but you haven't drawn this, so you have to draw this one. Equals to 2x plus 1. And the idea is when x equals to 0, y equals to 1. When x equals to 2, there is no 2, so let's just say 1 equals to 3. Okay, so 0, 1, 1, 3. 0, 1, 1, 3. Okay. Will be like that, and then drawing suitable lines of the equation. Okay. Solve the equation of this one. That means 0 0.4, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. 0, negative 0.4. And then next is 19. For question 19, already split the image into 3 parts, A, B, and C. So the A is a square on the top left, and then B is 3/4 of a circle, and then the C is the rectangle. Okay, to find the area of the shaded shapes, you have to break them down like this, and then you will only have to use the formula for the rectangle: width times the length minus, for the 3/4, it's 3/4 times pi times r squared. The radius equals to 4 minus the square is 4 times 4. Okay, let's calculate this. 20 times 15, and then minus 3/4 times pi times 4 square, and then minus 16 equals to 246.3. 246 in 3. Okay, and then to find the perimeter, I already split them into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts. Yeah, so for the first one is this one, that one is 20, so 20, and then the second part is this one, that is 15 plus 15, and then plus the third part is this one, that is 20 minus 4, 20 minus 4, and the last one is plus this one, that is 15 minus 4, and also the arc length. The arc length will be 3/4 times 2 times pi times the arc. Perimeter equals to 35 plus 16 plus 11 plus 3/4 times 2 times pi times 4. It's 80.8 in 3SF. And then next is 20. For question 20, in the square ABCD, coordinate of -2, 1. Negative 1 is right there. B is 1,5 right here. This one is A, this one is B, and find the coordinate of C and D. Okay, next is question 20. I already draw the point A and B. We only have to find out the C and D to make it into square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we'll use this connection in between the side of a square. If the first one is 6 units to the left and 8 unit down, that means this time you'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 to the right side, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 going down. That means the next point will be right here, which is 5,2. And then for that one also the same. So you'll do it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. Okay, so this is point D, which is 2, -2. And then P has a coordinate of -1, 3, midpoint. The formula of the midpoint is x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. So the midpoint will be x1 is -1 plus 6, y1 is 3 plus 4 over 2 over 2. So the midpoint is 2,5, and the y is 3,5. Okay, good. Next is the length of PQ. The length of PQ, that means using the formula of the length: y2 minus y1 square plus x2 minus x1 square. y2 is 4 minus 3 square plus 6 minus minus 1 become plus 1 square. So the answer is square root of 1 plus 49 equals to square root of 50, and square root of 50 is 7.07. Okay, next is the gradient of PQ. I. gradient is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 is 4 minus 1, minus 3, and then 6 minus 1 equals to 1 out of 7. Next is the equation of the line parallel to PQ crosses the x-axis. Okay, first we'll prepare this. Cross the x-axis means the y equals to 0. So this is our point later, x1, y1, because the question says passes through, cross. Okay, and then the next key point is parallel. Parallel means the second gradient will be equal to the first gradient. So the second gradient will be the same, which is 1 over 7. And then you will use this formula, y minus y1 equals to mx minus x1. The y1 is 0, the gradient is 1 over 7, x is x, y1 equals to 2. So y equals to 1 over 7x minus 2 out of 7. Okay. Next is 21. For question 21, you have to solve this. For x squared minus 3x minus 2. The question already told you that it will be decimal, so you have to use the formula. Minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c over 2a equals to 3 plus minus square root of 8 32 41 out of 8. So 3 plus square root of 41 divided by 8 equals to 1.18. Yes, nice, 1.18. This is the x of the first x. Second x is negative 0.425. Yeah, it is 0.3. Okay, good. That is the first, the A. And then let's do B. Okay, for question B, you have x minus 1 over x plus 1 minus 6 over x minus 1 equals to 1. Okay, so for this one, I will make the denominator equal first. Multiply them, x minus 1. You multiply this also, x minus 1 times x minus 1, and then you multiply this, minus 6 open brackets x plus 1 equals to 1. Okay, next is to expand. This one is x squared minus x equals to negative 2x and then plus 1. This one is negative 6x minus 6 divided by, you expand this one also, equals to 1. And then you cross multiply, minus 8x minus 5 equals to x squared minus 1. You can cross out this, so negative 8x equals to 4x equals to negative half. Okay, nah, that is the solution of your pra-asats practice. I hope that you can understand it well and also get a good scores later in the pra-asats. Yeah, I have a high expectation from you guys. Thank you guys. Bye bye.